Hi everyone, this is Gretchen May Escamillo, and today we'll be talking about the reproductive system. It is a system of sex organs within organisms which work together for the purpose of sexual reproduction. Describe the structure and explain the function of the male and female human reproductive system. The male reproductive system consists of two major parts: the testes, where sperm are produced, and the penis. The penis and urethra belong both the urinary and reproductive system in males. The testes are carried in an external pouch known as the scrotum, where they normally remain slightly cooler than body temperature to facilitate sperm production. The external structures of the female reproductive system includes the clitoris, labia minora, labia majora, and Bartholin's gland. The major internal organs of the female reproductive system includes the vagina and the uterus, which act as a receptacle for semen, and the ovaries, which produce the female's ova. The vagina is attached to the uterus through the cervix, while the fallopian tubes connected the uterus to the ovaries. In response to hormonal changes, one ovum or egg, or more in the case of multiple births, is released and sent down the fallopian tube during ovulation. Differentiate between asexual reproduction and sexual reproduction, external and internal fertilization, and indirect and direct development. Asexual reproduction. It produces offspring that are genetically identical to the parent because the offspring are all clones of the original parent. A single individual can produce offspring asexually, and large numbers of offspring can be produced quickly. During sexual reproduction, the genetic material of two individuals is combined to produce genetically diverse offspring that differ from their parents. Two haploid gametes join in the process of fertilization to produce a diploid zygote. External fertilization is the syngamy outside the female body that is in the outer environment, especially in water bodies or in aquatic environment, which protects the eggs from drying out. Internal fertilization is a process where syngamy, union of male and female gamete, occurs inside the female body after insemination using copulation. For this to happen, there needs to be a method for the male to introduce the sperm into the female's reproductive tract. Direct development. In this type of development, embryo develops into a mature individual without involving a larval stage. Metamorphosis is absent. It is seen in fishes, reptiles, birds, and mammals. Indirect development. In this type of development involves a sexually immature larval stage having different food requirements than adults. Metamorphosis is present. It involves development of larva to an adult. It is seen in invertebrates and amphibians. Describe the events associated with human sperm and egg production and explain how hormones influence them. For fertilization to occur, a freshly ejaculated sperm must undergo several hours of hyperactivation, so they are ready to swim. Once a sperm cell and egg cell meet, a series of complex reactions allows the egg to bind the sperm and release enzymes in the tip of the sperm that enable the two cells to fuse. The separate bundles of genetic material inside the egg and inside the sperm come together to form the prenucleus of a single cell. This cell is a zygote and has the potential to become a human baby. Sex hormones are responsible for sexual development. The main reproductive hormones are estrogen and testosterone. Estrogen causes egg to mature in ovaries once a girl hits puberty. These are then released at regular intervals during their menstrual cycle. Testosterone stimulates sperm production in males. Other hormones involved in the menstrual cycle include follicle-stimulating hormone, causing maturation of an egg in the ovary; luteinizing hormone, stimulating the release of the egg. Estrogen and progesterone are involved in maintaining the uterus lining. Describe the events in human fertilization until childbirth, particularly the appearance of sex differences and what triggers them. The zygote develops in the pre-embryonic stage in 2 weeks, then the embryonic stage in 8 weeks, and finally the fetal stage for 2 to 9 months. In the zygote stage, the zygote will then start to divide mitotically, becoming a mass of at least 16 cells. Zygote is formed when the male gamete sperm and female gamete fuse. In the blastocyst stage, the single-celled zygote begins to divide into a solid ball of cells, and the remaining cells then become inner cell mass, and the liquid would start secreting from it, allowing the implantation to happen. Then it becomes a hollow ball of cells called a blastocyst, attaching the lining of the mother's uterus. Organs will then take shape in embryonic stage. This stage, the major internal organs and external features begins to emerge, forming an embryo. In this stage, the heart, the brain, and the spinal cord becomes visible. Arms and legs starts to develop. In the fetal stage, organs would begin to function from the end of the embryonic stage, all the way to birth. Once the form features of the embryo begin to grow and develop, the organism is considered a fetus. Differentiation and specialization of structures happens during this time. Explain how contraceptives prevent pregnancy. A woman cannot get pregnant if she doesn't ovulate because there is no egg to be fertilized. Condoms are about 85% effective in preventing pregnancies. Spermicide is a pharmaceutical substance used to kill sperm, especially in conjunction with a birth control device such as condom or diaphragm. Contraception or birth control prevents pregnancy by interfering with the normal process of ovulation, fertilization, and implantation. Hormonal contraceptives like pill, patch, or vaginal ring all contain a small amount of man-made estrogen and progestin hormones. The hormones in the pill can also sometimes affect the lining in the uterus, making it difficult for an egg to attach to the wall of the uterus. These hormones work to inhibit the body's natural cyclical hormones to prevent pregnancy. Give examples of sexually transmitted infections. Gonorrhea is an infection caused by a sexually transmitted bacterium that infects both males and females. Gonorrhea most often affects the urethra, rectum, or throat. In females, gonorrhea can also infect the cervix. Pelvic inflammatory disease is an infection of the upper part of the female reproductive system, namely the uterus, fallopian tubes, and ovaries, and inside the pelvis. The disease is caused by bacteria that spread from the vagina and cervix. Genital warts and human papillomavirus. Genital warts are one of the most common types of sexually transmitted infections. Genital warts affect most tissues of the genital area. They can look like small flesh-colored bumps or have collar-like flower appearance. In many cases, the warts are too small to be visible. And here are the other examples of sexually transmitted infections. That's all for today. Thank you for watching!